Church, Stacia finna shut down all these romantic sunset hikes with these female friends. I got my notes. I hope y'all got yours. Let's get on into this damn mess. All right, y'all, so let's jump right on in. Now, first and foremost, y'all, I want to apologize for missing last week's episode, but baby, I was busy getting a whole hair transplant, and if you have any interest in that video or my journey to get there, I'll link the video up above, and you guys can check it out at your own leisure, right? But let's jump on into our couples and start with Krysten and Mitch. So let's talk about secrets. So Krysten finally told her dad that she's getting married at first sight. And there was this big rigmarole as to whether or not he was going to be mad about it or supportive. But luckily, it was the best outcome for everyone involved because he was supportive of his daughter's choices. And basically, he was like, listen, you tried it the other way and it didn't work out. You might as well give this route a chance and see what it can be. Okay, so best outcome in terms of supporting your child. But it really got me thinking about just secrets in general and just my general rules for secrets. So y'all get out a pen and pad, baby, because these are Dash's rules for secrets, all right? So if the secret is beneficial for the other person to know, tell it, okay? And if the secret only benefits you in terms of calming your own spirit and alleviating whatever guilt that you're feeling, that's something that you got to keep inside, baby, because that's your punishment for whatever secret you damn keeping, okay? And I never tell y'all something without helping you with an example, okay? So if you are cheating on your spouse, your partner, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, that's a secret you need to tell because that is beneficial to the other person, right? But let's say, if I'm feeling a bit messy, let's say you got a secret OnlyFans account, honey, where you busting it down to the flow, okay? Trying to make some extra part-time money to pay your mortgage so that Bank of America don't come and repo your damn house, okay? In that case, that's a secret that you can keep because that's between you, your Jesus, and your subscribers as far as I'm concerned, okay? So don't ever say I ain't tell y'all nothing. Those are Dash's rules for secrets, all right? Now let's move on to Krysten Mama. Now, y'all, Krysten Mama is fine, okay? Now, I know I'm gay, but I can appreciate the beauty in a woman and just beauty in people in general, okay? And Mama was serving, okay? Face was tight and right, body was good, dress was nice. I was like, all right, Mama, you better work it, okay? But listen, because, I got to give you compliments and constructive criticism at the same time. And this is not a knock to that lady, okay? But though the face was amazing, the body was banging, honey, that neck never lied, okay, baby? The neck never lies, okay? The neck is like a tree trunk in the woods, baby. You chop it off, you look at the circles in it, and you like, oh, that's how old your ass is. Yes, the neck never lies. But in all honesty, her mother is beautiful, and she has something to look forward to as she, ages and gets older and whatnot. And quiet as it's kept, Krysten Mama might be, just a bit finer than Krysten, but, y'all ain't hear that from me. And drop down in the comments if y'all agree. Now, let's get into the notion of Mitch and his plain Jane woman. Now, when I first heard it, y'all, I was a bit offended because, it's her wedding day. She wants to look beautiful. And, this is when she's supposed to be the most beautiful to her husband and blah, blah, blah. And the more I thought about it, y'all, I actually like his notion of, wanting to see his spouse with, plain face, sweatpants, not all the finery, not all the makeup and stuff like that. He wants to see the true essence of who she is on a daily basis, and that's what he's more attracted to, right? And it sort of reminds me of a Drake lyric where he's like, hair tied, sweatpants, chilling with no makeup on. That's when you're the prettiest. I hope that you don't take it wrong. So very novel way of looking at it today, in a world of BBLs, hair down to your ass, a face full of makeup. And I'm not knocking it, okay, because there are different levels of beauty, honey. Sometimes people are born with it, and sometimes you find it down to the damn beauty counter at the CVS, okay? Different strokes for different folks, but I thought it was a cool thing to talk about. And lastly, with Krysten and Mitch, y'all, let's talk about Mitch and his finances, okay? So, y'all, I got a general rule. 1 time is a fluke, twice is a pattern, and by 5, it's a lifestyle, okay? And Mitch has talked about his finances about 5 times in the last 3 episodes, which means to me, and which tells me that he has some sort of anxiety surrounding it, right? Now, nobody wants to be in a relationship with somebody that they're taking care of, right? But through Mitch's own admission, I think where I connected with him this episode, y'all, is he said that, on paper he was successful, but he was miserable. And that's where he found his whole drive for the environment and wanting to be pretty much Captain Save a Planet, okay? But most times, y'all, when you leave a high-paying job or something that was, paying your bills for whatever your passion project is, it's going to take a while to accumulate the same level of money to, take care of yourself in the same manner, And oftentimes you might not ever make the same money that you made before, but because the happiness quotient is so high in that instance, it makes up for the other side of it, right? So I really need to find out what Mitch's finances are looking at, because when someone keeps like repeating something over and over, it kind of like raises red flags in terms of this is something that they really want you to pay attention to, okay? Now, I don't think, he's going to have a problem, because I don't think Krysten is looking for someone to take care of her, right? Through Mama's own admission, she paid for her dream wedding out of her life savings, right? She spent all her life savings for her dream wedding. And we find out this episode, baby, that she paid for her engagement ring on the damn credit card that her fiance had put it on, right? So clearly through her mom saying that she's independent and she has her own, she's fine. But like I said, like nobody wants to be in a relationship where they're responsible for taking care of the other person entirely, okay? But I think it's going to take some communication. And I think because he keeps repeating it, it's a pressure point that really needs to be investigated a bit. So we'll find out, what's going on with Mitch finances. Like, are you on the poverty line? Can you take care of yourself? And for me, if you are happy, you are pursuing your dream, and you can take care of your own bills, I can handle the rest, right, in terms of our life, because I'm supporting you in what makes you happy. And, in a relationship, it has to be give and take. So maybe this is the give and take aspect for y'all relationship. Now, let's move on to Stacia and Nate, y'all. And let's talk about Nate and his female friends. This is the only note I have on them. Y'all, Stacia ain't feeling these female friends. And I told y'all in my review of the first episode, I hope that these relationships or these newfangled relationships where, the men got female friends and the women got the male friends, I hope that they can work out. Most of the time, 9 times out of 10, people aren't mature enough for that to happen, right? But I'm hopeful for it. So what we find out this episode is that I think Nate's friend's name was Megan, and Mama was talking about, we have game nights. I ain't got a problem with the game nights. And then she said, we take sunset hikes. Why is you taking sunset romantic hikes with my man? Lies, okay? It will not happen. And you could see it all written across Stasia's face that she was not feeling the whole sunset hikes, y'all being alone and together. Now, baby, if it's a group, that's different, okay? But if you like, Stacia, I'm fitting to go out with Megan and we about to go, on this sunset hike down to the park, lies. I'm coming with you, okay? And this doesn't, have to speak to how she feels about herself or being self-conscious or being, having low self-esteem. But listen, if Nate is straight, right? His friend is straight, okay? It's a hop, skip, and a jump, right? Between being friends with somebody and actually going to that relationship aspect of it, okay? And sometimes it's a shorter hop than you think, okay? Given the right night, the right scenario, the right amount of Moscato or alcohol, and some lights being dimmed, okay? She says she only known the man for 1.5 years. So this is not the type of situation where like she's known him since he was a kid and there's like that friendship built there in terms of, there's no romantic feelings at all. The way she was talking to that man and Stacia with tears in her eyes, like this lady was coming to take her man, I was like, Stacia need to watch this girl. And I would hate to, pretty much call this over that relationship because it's probably pretty, genuine and pretty innocent. But listen, I'm a person that likes to err on the side of caution. So I'm like, listen, Stacia, I don't know if it's going to work over well for you to shut down his female relationships entirely. But like you said, boundaries are important, okay? And as long as the boundaries are respected in terms of, your boundaries, like you said, may be different from his boundaries, y'all have to come to some commonality there and find a way to move forward. Because I think trying to restrict him from the life that he knew before entirely would cause more problems than if you found a constructive way to move forward together. So we'll see what happens there. Now, in terms of Alexis and Justin, y'all, only thing I want to talk about with them is that he's winning her over, y'all. I said this in my first review of this damn season. As long as the attractiveness, the physical attractiveness in terms of the facial attractiveness wasn't the number one thing on her list, you know, he could win her over with his personality. He has personality for days. You know, he's very, very funny. You know, he's very easy to get along with. He makes her feel safe, right? And so as long as the facial attractiveness isn't number one, I can break down your walls with all of my other qualities, right? And that seems to be what's happening. And so I really, really liked that, you know, she admitted that the whole facial attractiveness thing was a bit superficial. And, you know, what really gleaned me to her, or really attracted me to her this episode, y'all, is that she was so forthright in telling the man that, like, most of the times when people are not attracted to somebody at the, you know, married at first sight, the initial wedding ceremony, we don't find out till weeks later when they're starting to have problems. They're bringing in the experts, and now it's like, okay, well, I had problems with you from the beginning and I just didn't speak up, right? So I loved how on the couch she was telling that man that I had a problem in terms of, you know, this superficial thing that I had to deal with. I'm past it now and I'm willing to move forward. And, you know, based on the amount of times they was kissing and touching each other, it seems like she got over it real quick. So good for Alexis and Justin, and hope they keep, you know, moving forward in a constructive way. Now let's move on, y'all, to, where are we now? Lindy and Miguel. Only thing I want to talk about with them, y'all, is this higher power convo. Y'all, people have differing beliefs on a variety of subjects, right? And when it comes to religion and politics, sometimes it can be very, very divisive, which is why I try not to speak on them, you know, a lot. But I will say this. People will be okay with whatever beliefs that you have and whatever opinions that you have, provided, you know, that there are three things present, right? You have to be resolute in those beliefs, right? You have to have a good explanation, and you have to be succinct, okay? Miguel went wrong because there was too much hemming and hawing about his positions on the damn matter, okay? It should have been a stick and move situation. I understand that you're meeting her family for the first time. This question might have, you know, caught you off guard because you don't know about her background with the Seventh-day Adventist Church. But, you know, as a person that's in their 30s and you've been with yourself, you've had these views, or you've developed these views over your life, you should pretty much have a prepared statement in terms of how you feel about a certain subject, right? So a little bit disappointing that Dr. Miguel didn't have a, you know, prepared statement to tell the people, okay? And it seemed to me like, y'all ever know one of those situations where somebody is just digging themselves in a hole, just digging, honey, just digging for gold, digging themselves in a hole, just quicker and quicker and quicker, like all this hemming and hawing, you know, well, you know, I don't want to be, you know, disingenuous to these people because they might have their beliefs, and these people over here. I'm like, listen, it should have been succinct. Your response should have been something to the effect of, you know, no, I don't have very strong religious beliefs. I'm more spiritual when it comes to it, but I respect her beliefs and I'm willing to learn more about them as we move forward together, full stop. And that would have, to me, they probably wouldn't have been completely happy, but it would have deaded the issue for the time being. Okay, so that comes in time. Next time, you know, you need to eat your Wheaties and have your damn prepared statement ready. And last but not least, y'all, let's talk about Morgan and Binh. Not much to talk about here, y'all, because listen, Binh, you had one damn job, okay? Stay healthy enough to get to the damn altar, okay? And you have failed and come down with the COVID, okay? And baby, no mention whether you have, you know, COVID-19 or COVID-19 through 32, honey. But suffice to say, the wedding ain't happening to the damn weekend because you done come down with it. Now, you told the people that you wasn't partying, out having fun, cheesing, laughing, and living it up. I don't know how much of that I believe, because ain't nobody catching COVID just sitting in their apartment, you know, doing crosswords and talking to their mama on the phone. So there's a little bit of, you know, ambiguousness there, but you know, I'm gonna go with what you say in terms of, I don't know you that well, so I got to take you for your words to begin with, okay? But we shall see, hopefully in the next episode, that Morgan and Binh get together. And in terms of our hot topics, y'all, just to close this out, let's talk about who might have sex in terms of their first night, right? So if we just go down our list real quick, Krysten and Mitch, I don't think it's going to happen. Mitch already said that he needs to be attracted to her on like a plain Jane type level first, and he hasn't seen her in that respect yet, so I don't think it's going to happen. Plus, he doesn't seem to be super attracted to the whole physical characteristics. He said he needs more of the internal stuff before he can get there, so I don't think they're having sex the first night. Stacia and Nate, The only way they having sex is if Stacia decides to let down them walls and let that man who, his family say, he a freak in the sheets in, okay? If she's not willing to go with it, it ain't gonna happen. Alexis and Justin, y'all, surprisingly, listen, the first episode I'd have said hell to the no. But after all the kissing, the touching, and the rubbing this episode, they might be the first ones to, have sex on either, the wedding night or maybe on the honeymoon. We'll see. Lindy and Miguel, I don't really know. They might be my wild card pick, right? Between Alexis and Justin and Lindy and Miguel, I think one of them two gonna be the first ones to have sex, right? I already told you about Alexis and Justin, but in terms of Lindy and Miguel, because she tore herself away from the Seventh-day Adventist church, she seems to be, to me, someone who's willing to go along to get along, right? Like, if you with it, I'm with it too, right? And in terms of Miguel, he strikes me as one of those dudes that's like, he's buttoned up, in public, he's slightly awkward, but behind closed doors, I think he a freak just like Nate, okay? So I think they might surprise us in terms of being the first ones to have sex too. Or the first ones between them and Alexis and Justin. And in terms of Morgan and Binh, baby, we don't know if they're going to have sex because they can't even get over the COVID yet, so we'll find out. Now, y'all, I think that's really all I wanted to talk about on this episode. So if you liked what I said, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on all social media at DatDamnDasher. And until next time, y'all, I can't wait to see Morgan and Binh walk down the aisle, and I still want my information on these two damn new experts. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.